Hello guys, welcome to TechBay. In the last video, we designed a login screen for our news app. This time we're going to create a news feed. So in this new news feed view controller, we will have a table view and we will also have an animated collection view. Both will display the news. So first I'm going to add a UI view controller from the library. Okay, now I'm going to add a UI collection view. Now I'm going to give constraints to this collection view. So I'm going to give 0 from the left, 0 from the right and 0 from the top, and I will give a height of 312. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this content view to cover the entire collection view. So first I will expand it. Now we select the content view and we'll move it to the top, and we need to make sure it covers the entire collection view. Now I'm going to add a UI image view into our UI collection view. Let's say image view, and I'm going to give constraints. We're going to let into color the entire collection view. So from font size I'm going to give 0. Now I will add a dummy image. And the content mode is going to be aspect fill. Okay, now I'm going to add a UI label, and this label is to display a news heading. So I'm going to give constraints to this one. We'll give 8 from the right, so 8 from the left, 8 from the right, and 156 from the top, and also give a height of 78. And I'm going to change the font color to white. Also I'm going to change the font from system to custom. I'm going to select the Helvetica New, and I'm going to select the bold, and I will give a size of 28. Now I'm going to add one more label, and this label is actually for displaying the news provider, and I will give constraint for this label also. 8 from the left, 8 from the right, and give a height of 4. So from the top 4, and I will give a height of 28. And also change the font color to white, and I will also change the system font to custom. This time it's going to be awareness next, and I'm going to select regular, and I will give size of 16. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to add a UI table view into our view controller. Now let's give constraints. From the top 0, from the left 0, from the right 0, and the bottom also 0. So add 4 constraints. Now I'm going to add a UI table cell. Just drag a table cell into here. Now let's expand it. Now we will adjust the table cell height to 177. Now I'm going to add a UI image view. Now let's give constraints. From the left 0, top 0, and the bottom 0, and we'll give a height, width. I'm going to give a width of 170. Okay, let's add a dummy image. I'm going to select the content mode as aspect fill. Now I'm going to add a UI label into our table view, and let's give constraints to this UI label. From left 0, and the right is going to be 8, and from the top it's going to be 0, and I'll give a height of 127. Okay, now I'm going to add one more UI label. This is for our provider, and I'm going to give constraints for this one. From the left 0, from the top is going to be 4, and from the right is going to be 8, and we will give a height of 21. And I'm going to change the font color like before, and this one is going to be a vendor next, so system to custom. I'm going to select Avenir next, and it's going to be a regular and 16. Now I'm going to change the font of the first label. It's going to be Helvetica New, so system to custom, Helvetica New, and I'm going to give size of 22. I'm also going to make it as bold. Okay, done. Now let's go to collection view, and the collection view I'm going to select the scroll direction to horizontal, and now I'm going to size inspector, and I'm going to select the estimated size to none. And now we will create the view controllers and collection view cells that required for our second VC. So I'm going to add new file. It's going to be calculated class. First one is going to be a collection view cell. Let's name it as a C cell. Now I will add one more file. This one going to be calculated class, and let's say a table view cell. And I'll call this one as a T cell. Now I'll add one more file, and this one is going to be UI view controller. Let's say this one is a feed VC. Okay, now let's go to main storyboard. I'm going to set this view controller as our feed VC. Now I'm going to set the collection view cell here, and it's going to be C cell that just we have created, and I'm going to give ID, and this one is going to be ID1, and I'm going to select the second one now. It's our W cell, and I'm going to give ID2, and I'm going to set the file as T cell. Now we will create outlets for our labels, image, and collection view and table view. So using the assistant editor, let's open FeedVC first. Now I'm going to create outlet for our collection view. So control drag here. Let's say collect. Now I'm also going to create outlet for our table view. Let's say table. Okay, now I'm going to open our T cell. It's going to be table view cell. Now I'm going to create outlets for our image. It's going, let's say img, and I'm going to create outlet for the first one. First label is going to be our news label, so news, just say news, and let's create an outlet for provider. Now let's open our collection view cell, and I'm going to create outlet for the image, same like before. Let's say image img, and for the first news header, so the first label is going to be news label. Let's say news, and the second one is going to be provider. Let's say provider. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to view controller. Sorry, the second we see FeedVC. Now we will quickly implement a collection view and table view. So now what I have done is I quickly set up our collection view and table view, and let's see how I have done. And I declared our collection view delegate and collection view data source and a collection view delegate flow layout, and I give some dummy information here for our image array. We have images that we already imported to our project, A, B, and C named, and we have providers and news informations. These are the dummy informations I just given in order to display, and and we have our number of sections and number of rows, number of sections in table view, and number of sections in collection view, and number of rows in table view, and number of items in collection view. And I declared using our image arrays count, and we set up our cell here. For table view cell, we set up a image, news, and provider info, and also for collection view cell, image, news, and provider info. And I give a row height for our table view as 177 here, using height for row at index path method. And I also give collection view size using UI collection view flow layout. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a timer in order to animate our collection view here at the top. So let's declare a timer. Let's say I have a timer. It's going to be timer. It's going to be type timer. Okay, now, and we will schedule our timer inside here in the view.Load. So I'm going to declare the timer here. Let's say timer is equal to schedule, capital timer dot schedule timer. Let's say schedule. I'm going to select one with the target and selector, and time interval I'm going to give 3.0 seconds. We're going to move each collection view cell at each 3.0 seconds, and target is going to be self. Selector we will declare using hash selector, and our function name is going to be, let's say, slide, and user info nil. Repeat, yes, true. We're going to repeat. Okay, now we will declare our function slide here at the bottom. So using @objc in order to conform it to Objective-C, let's say func. Our function is going to be slide. Okay, now we'll declare slide method here. Something wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll to the last visible item of our collection view using its index path, and I'm going to increment the item counts by one at each 3 seconds, and I'm going to reset the item count to 0 when its count is equal to number of image count in our image array. And we're going to move to each of the items using this item count. So let's see how I'm going to do that. So let's say let last item is equal to using our collection view collect dot index path for visible items. I'm going to fetch the last item. Now I'm going to fetch the index path for this last item, and since it's going to be our present item, that means we're going to scroll to that point. I'm going to call it as a current item. So let's say let current item is equal to using index path. I'm going to select one with a capital I and open the bracket and select one with the item and section, and item is going to be our last item dot item, and section is going to be 0. Now we will scroll to that current item. For that, collection view dot scroll to item at index path. Index path is going to be our current item. We have an error because I'm going to let's pause and wrap that one. Okay, now scroll direction is going to be right, animated false, Now we will move to our next item. So I'm going to declare our next item here. So let's say next item is equal to, I'm going to increment our current item dot item plus 1, and we will check if our next item it is equal to the image arrays count, that is img array dot count. Then we will reset our next item to 0. Now we will go to the same step here like here, and we're going to declare index path. I'm sorry, this one's supposed to be where. So let's say next index path this one is the index path for our next item. So let's say index path, selecting the same one with the item end section. Item is going to be next item, and section is going to be 0, and we will scroll to that index path, collection view dot scroll to item at index path. Index path is going to be next index path, scroll direction to the right, animated, false. Okay, that's it. Now let's run the program. I'm going to select iPhone 11. I will rerun. We're getting a black screen here. Let's check why. Because I think it's because I did not set this one as our initial view controller. I'm going to set this initial view controller. I'm going to rerun it. Let me check. Yes, perfect. You can see here we are able to animate our collection view cell, and we are able to display our images, news, and service provider info. Okay, thank you guys for watching my videos. See you in the next video.